B is
Why do I
too
call
bossy.
banks?
Huh?
I call them banks.
What is this microphone doing here?
That is for the internet. So now we have quality on the internet.
Oh, I see.
Did you see?
Extraordinary.
Did you see yesterday? My friends in New Hampshire commented on the show.
What'd they
about-
say?
Yeah, they said something about Funny Farm. Must have been part of the Funny Farm yesterday.
Yeah, I had other people saying it was a funny show yesterday. I like that.
Yeah, good.
I called today. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about Mr. B, how many seconds to airtime, please, sir?
David, would you like a cracker?
What's that?
It's a cinnamon cracker.
Oh, all right.
You got 45 seconds till you're open. I'm trying to print out your card specs.
Mr. B's wife had cataract surgery. When was that?
Why don't you ask him when
2
we
days
get on the
ago,
air?
and she was driving yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Turn your Facebook on and make sure you make a mention of the mic.
It's on. Why do you want me to mention the mic?
You got good quality now on Facebook. Let them know.
Well, good morning, all ye people. We gotta sing some good news. We're gonna shake off them gray clouds. We're gonna shake off them blues. Woo-hoo! Boom, boom, boom. How you doing, everybody? It's another beautiful day in paradise.
Where do you get all that energy first thing in the morning?
I know. I'm the kind of guy that if you invite me over to your house in the summertime up north, you wake up and you go, oh my God, Bertha, look who's here in the house. But they'll turn on the radio and keep me on the radio. So some of us are born for positions of endearment on the radio at an arm's length. This morning in the studio, of course, you've already been hearing the voice of the lovely, a round of applause, please, for the queen herself, Beverly Osler.
Queen, I have a lot to live up to. Thank you.
Yes, and we also, of course, have the ultimate in real estate pioneering. He is Mr. David Walsh.
David Walsh is here, yes. I was in the gym the other morning, and there was a man on one of the pieces of equipment that I wanted to get on.
Yeah.
And he stayed on there. And he stayed on there. And I'm about to tell him, why don't you get off that equipment? I mean, how long can you be on there?
Yeah.
And just then he looked up at me and he said, are you David Walsh of David Walsh Real Estate? You are, aren't you? I said, yes. He said, I want to thank you very much for sponsoring my son's Little League baseball team.
Oh, how wonderful.
Oh, yeah, did you?
So
How nice.
it's a good thing I held my peace.
How many times does that happen in life? You meet somebody and immediately you have a visceral reaction to them. It's almost negative. You're in a bed. It's almost like there's demonic forces, and you're just about to say something, and they end up becoming the best friend you ever had. Had you opened up your big mouth, you would have lost them forever.
That's true.
Better
So
to. Isn't there some sort? You must be some sort of an appropriate saying that you have.
I have an appropriate saying. It is, I am the master of my unspoken word and a slave to the words I speak.
Oh, yes.
Slave.
Say it again. I am the master of my unspoken words and the slave to the words I speak.
Correct.
I tell you what.
That is so true.
How we get tangled up in our words. You know, I was just listening to a video somebody sent me this morning.
I should mail that to Mr. Trump.
Yeah, speaking of Mr. Trump, just this morning, Lois from CJ Cannon sent me a video. And this lady came on this show. Obviously, it was recorded when Mr. Obama was president. But she said she knew Barry back in school. She was born in 1963, knew him. And she said this guy was a pot-smoking guy who hung out only with older gay guys and was apparently, she presumed, doing services for cocaine, which he was in, and she said he was a total, absolute, one of those BSers that you could, if he said that the sun was shining outside, you better go outside to see if it was raining. Now, where they dug this lady up, I don't know, because I'm very suspect.
It was written in a book just recently. A new book came out about how his having a little cocaine and doing drugs.
Okay, but what I'm going to suggest is, you know, there's been a few little lifetimes of Rhett Palmer. I was in Washington, D.C., and I protested on the steps of the Capitol when I was
Well, you
a kid.
remember of SDS.
Yeah, so it's Students for a Democratic Society. And as Reagan so aptly stated, if you are not a liberal when you're younger, you haven't got a heart. And if you're not conservative when you're older, you haven't got a brain. But, so, you know, there's sides to me. I've done some things, probably if somebody brought them up and they go, that's that guy, you know. Oh, I thought he's supposed to be a Christian. Well, you know what? I'm a screw up and I'm also have feet of clay and I'm a sinner. And I got a lot of learning to do. I don't mean to be flip about it,
This
but
confessional is
do
very alarming.
you think that Barry, though? See, I think they take this thing, and then they turn it around and make him this god-awful. Look, I didn't do cocaine personally. I've never done cocaine, and I'm glad I never did do cocaine. I never did heroin.
What about
marijuana? I just want to say this about that. Yes, I did. I put it to my lips, but I did inhale. Yes.
Yeah,
God bless you and God bless America. Yes, I did. But by the time I was 15 and a half or 16, I tried some. They called it Vietnamese tea. And they'd shipped it in here. And it was so radical. I smoked it with my older friend, Sam Chiofia, on the streets of Poughkeepsie, New York. And I remember feeling, we were in a head shop. You know what a head shop? A head shop back then was when you bought tie-dye T-shirts and you could buy paraphernalia for indulging in smoking items like hashish and marijuana. Anyway, and I remember having this illusion that I was going out of my body. Scared the crap out of me. I never smoked marijuana again. I didn't like something that affected my consciousness. Never drank till really much until I was 47 years of age. But I'm an oddity. What can I say? So we all have things in the back now. So we're all back in the 60s and we're experimenting with drugs. This guy Barry, how bad? You have to admit he's very bright. If he's a BSer, you know what the funny thing is? I was thinking this morning. You know, Bob Dylan made up a bunch of lies when he started out. Like he was in the carnivals. He was a carny and all this crap. It seems like the bullessers, they're the ones that make it later in life. I mean, they say that Barry was a liar. You know, people believe a lie better than they will the truth.
Well, you'll get your doctor. You'll be able to keep your own plan. I mean, he's a consistent. If he's a liar, he's consistent.
Yeah. And then when the guy,
and he's very, very accommodating for drug dealers. He considers them to be minor offenses. Well, they're terrible, horrible, not minor offenses. And so Trump is turning the police work against these people from being benign to being very aggressive.
By the way, today's broadcast is being brought to you by Coggan Osteen down there in Fort Pierce, Florida. And I'd like to tell you about my new GLE 350 SUV, navigation system, electronic stability, automatic temperature control, emergency communication system, power moon roof, wireless phone connectivity, front dual zone AC, rain sensing wipers. It is phenomenal. I love it. Blind spot assist, that's where it lets me know I'm getting a little older. So when I'm going by somebody, and I have had 3 incidents in the past 5 years, maybe it's 8 years since I've known Barbara, where I actually did pull out almost into another car. Now, they stayed in my blind spot, the stupid people. That's stupida! But then again, you got to look thrice in that rearview mirror because you never know. Well, this helps you because if somebody's on your left and you put on your left signal, which you should always do if you're going to turn left, it alerts it and it'll go beep, beep, beep to alert you. No, you can't go left now. Okay?
Also, your mirror lights up when someone's
That's what I'm talking about. Yep. The mirror blinks and, yep. So I just want to say how much I really enjoy this car. I think I have a trailer hitch. I didn't drive it in this morning. I don't really need the trailer hitch, but it's just amazing what it does have and all these specialties. And they believe shockingly affordable. The GLE 350 SUV Mercedes. I got it from Mark down at Kogan Osteen, which is the proper way to say it. Is it Kogan or Kogan?
I'd say Kogan.
Kogan. I mean, does anybody know, Mr. B? Do you for certain can we rely upon your expertise to tell us? Is it Kogan or Kogan?
I have no idea.
Okay, well that's good. Well, we're going to ask our judges. Judges, what is the correct pronunciation? What is the correct pronunciation, judges? Oh, okay, we got it straight. All right, so listen. Margaret. I don't know. What was he saying? Which way is the right way? I don't get it. He's pulled the wool over our eyes again. Okay, yes. Mr. B is waving in the glass. Yes, Mr. B.
Rhett, before we go any further, I know
Yeah.
you're going to forget, but we got to
Yeah.
wish all the mothers in our
Oh, yeah. Happy Mother's Day to you. Give me a little reverb here, would you please? Happy Mother's Day to you. May you be loved and respected, true and true for all you are and all you do. You're the light, our shining star. Oh, don't forget it, yes you are. Your mama, your mother, your mom, and we love you.
As a mother, thank you.
Nobody's like your mother ever. Now you're talking about
My grandfather used to say, they said, no one will ever love you
like your mother.
like your mother. And it used to be, no woman will ever love you. And when she's alive and everything, wah, wah, wah. Let me tell you something. For all you stupid, thick-headed idiots out there, don't spend enough time with your mom. Don't call your mom. I don't care if she ticked you off. I don't care. You wouldn't be here. No wonder God says in the scriptures, he says, what does he say? He says, honor thy mother and thy father that thy life may be long. Who can show disrespect for those from whence you came? And that's why I don't understand why around the world women have been treated like dogs in a lot of society. Dogs? You wouldn't exist. What kind of a dimwit doesn't respect from whence he came or she came?
True.
You know, I remember, I think it was Meg Ryan. Who was it? Anyway, I had these different stars on my show, and there's one out there doesn't talk to her mom, and her mom called in. Was it Meg Ryan? I don't know. It was somebody famous back then.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember. And they hadn't talked in like 17 years. How can you not talk to your mom? And let me tell you something. I don't have my mother on earth. I'd give anything. Of course, I wanted to grow up, and I said, when I grow up, I want to be on, I could just imagine my parents, my mother and my stepfather on a horse. And I said, and there's a big puddle there. And I said, I'll be willing to get down on my hands and knees so they can step off the horse and step on my back so they don't get into the mud. I didn't exactly have to do that, but you could ask them. Before both of them died, they looked at me and said, you've been a very good son, a great son. And I tell you what, I'm glad that I was able to treat them with honor and bless them. In my situation, I was able to bless them financially, and I'm so thankful to God above that He allowed me to do that for my parents, because I love them and still do.
True.
So love him, and I love Ben just like he was a real father.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he was with me for 40-odd years, and he treated my mother, most importantly, just like you treat your wife like a queen. He treated my mom like a queen. And he even treated other men like that. He would hold open the door. Yes, mother, here's Beverly, the mother is here today. You represent all the mothers out there. Let's have a round of applause, please. A round of applause for the mother in our studio.
Oh, such an honor. But in the past, I remember that on Mother's Day, people wore carnations. If your mother was alive, you wore a pink carnation. If she was deceased, you wore a white carnation.
Oh,
And why did we
really?
lose that? Because it honored the mothers. You know?
I think we should bring it back.
Well, let's do that.
So I want somebody in a car somewhere right now to pick up a white carnation for me,
Yes.
and well, actually, all three of us. I don't think any. Mr. B, is your mom still alive? Just nod to me, Mr. B.
No, she isn't.
Okay, so nobody here has their mom. So we all know, don't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Be kind to your mother. And if you're a mother, know this, that the mayor of the airways has excessive respect and admiration for you. Most men haven't got the guts to go through the pain of childbirth.
That's only the beginning. The childbirth pain is only the beginning.
Oh,
Then
my
there's a lot of stuff, to keep you going, like wiping your rear end and
My word.
picking up the vomit. And I mean, it's everything that they do. Man couldn't do.
Oh,
I mean, they
my
don't have
word.
the patience, the nurturing capability that is innate in the woman's makeup.
Somebody sent me a cartoon. Now listen, this shouldn't offend any children that are listening. I don't think they'll understand it, so it's just for the adults. But the man and woman are in the kitchen. Well, maybe I should. Okay, maybe you should turn off the radio. You might be offended. Okay? But this man and the woman. I think. Are you the one that sent me this? There's a man and a woman in the kitchen area, and he says, "Honey," he's sitting down. She's at the sink, and. And he says, "Hey, how about a new position tonight?" She goes, "Okay, I'll sit on the couch and fart while you do the dishes." You know what the bad news is? We're laughing. And if you're laughing, that means there's a possibility, there's an element of truth to what we just said in some situations.
Well, I think they put the dishes in the dishwasher now. They don't.
Who, the men? Or the women?
The women.
Yeah. Well, that's true. See that? Now, a man got fed up with women saying, "You need help with the dishes," so he created a dishwasher.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Well, let's give men credit.
Yeah, we'll give them
Men
some
are
credit.
doing a
Listen,
lot.
everybody holds it against men for their laziness. When I was staying with my grandfather in New York City at 234 East 50th Street, I hope the building's still there, and I was reading this book. He had all these books, and I read this short essay by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And
He had his mother living in
He's-
the White House with him, Sarah Delano
you know what?
Roosevelt.
And you know what? Most of the guys that are successful, like me, Winston, and FDR, we were all exceedingly, extremely, and most people would say too close to our mothers. But anyway, I was reading this essay by FDR, and he said, I have succeeded fighting my lazy side every step of the way. He said, and so has the males, the men who have made history. I don't know about women. I can't judge women because they're different species and they're from a different planet. But they were in the cave and they're going down to get the water every day. And some guy goes, I really don't want to have to walk down to the river. So he created a bucket. Okay? And they go down and get the bucket. Then the next guy comes and goes, I really don't want to have to walk down with a bucket anymore. So he creates a pipeline, et cetera, et cetera. And so FDR says, yes, we succeed fighting our lazy side every step of the way, as long as we take that energy and, focus it somewhere.
My father used to say to me, Dave, you always look for an easy way. Yeah, you're darn right. I always look for an easy way.
Look at this. I mean, look at people pay monthly fees. Now, I want to ask you this. You go into a club. You work out every month, right? Every week. Okay.
Right.
So tell me this isn't true. You pay how much money a month to belong to the club? Lots of money, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it adds up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars annually. And what do? You get in line over at Publix, and you're coming in with your car, and you wait because you see the back lights on that car. It's going to pull out up near the front. I want that. I don't want to park back here. I want to. You're paying hundreds of dollars to exercise, right? Am I right about this?
You're right about everything, Mr. Palmer. I've never found you wrong about anything.
This is the mayor of the airways. We got to take a break. Mr. B says so, and then we'll be talking to you further. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Know you are cherished and loved, and this is a decree sent out across the land. The mayor of the airwaves says, "Love your mother or be accursed."
This is Tim Womack, one of the pastors in First Presbyterian Church of Vero Beach.
Yes.
So back to pronunciation.
And it's Coggin. I called.
Oh, you call
I called and they answered the phone. So now I know how to
like a
pronounce
cog in a wheel.
it. Yes. And actually, this Mark salesman answered. I said, "Are you the Mark that dealt with Mr. Palmer?" So I guess they have another Mark that you dealt
Oh,
with.
okay.
Okay. And he said, "You want to put me on the air?" As a young kid. I said, "No." I gave him the phone number. I said, "If you can, Mark is off today." I said, "If you can have him call in, Mr. Palmer will talk to him on the air, and how he loves his vehicle and everything." But he said that it is known as Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce now. The word Coggin is for the old timers because it used to be called Coggin.
Oh, let's not do it anymore. Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce.
Right.
I like that much better.
And you don't have to say cog.
Right.
Now that we got the
Mercedes-Benz.
pronunciation all straightened out, we don't need it.
All right.
So here's the pronunciation.
We're getting back to making things simple. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Correct.
I love it. Yeah.
So the pronunciation. Now listen. So the person wants to know how to pronounce Hawaii.
Hold on. Hawaii. Hawaii?
So they called the consulate and they said, "How do you pronounce the name of your state?" He says, "Hawaii." "Oh, good. Thank you very much. You're welcome."
That's it. Hawaii, you're welcome.
By the way, that mic sounds wonderful in there. I'm watching it on Facebook here.
Really? Hey, folks on Facebook. Folks, hold on, what's that? Hi, folks on Facebook. This is Rhett, the losing hair. How come in here it looks like, I know I don't have much hair, but here it's worse, man. It's the lighting in here or something. I want to tell you, folks, let's see, up there. We've been getting reports that the sound is phenomenal on Facebook now that we have this professional mic. We've been getting anywhere from 90, 91 to 88, 89, 189 viewers on each half-hour segment for the past few months, and so we're tickled to have this new mic. I remember a few years ago I paid $150 for this thing. So Jody and I were out one day, we stopped at, I'm thinking it was Radio Shack, which, by the way, is going out of business. All the Radio Shacks are going out of business in Florida. But anyway, so we bought this, and then we never used it. Then it disappeared. I'm looking around for a few months later. And, you forget when you loan stuff out. So I said, somebody even stole that out of here, Well, sure enough, Laura had it, thought she had returned it years ago, and brought it in. And now I have it back again. And hence now, and I've been wondering, how can we get a better sound? Because we've been using the microphone in the computer, and they came and worked on this the other day, and they set it all up. And want anybody to touch the knobs, any of you other guests that come in here to host a show.
Is this better than that?
No, this is great for radio. This is the top. This is one of the top creme de la cremes you can get in the radio right here. See that?
Uh-huh.
Yes. This is the mic that Rush speaks into, except he put real gold filigree or whatever is on the outside. So he deserves that too. The golden mic. Rush deserves that. If I didn't think I would get Jesus mad at me when I meet Rush, I will get down on one knee and I will say, "Sir, thank you for giving me, under God's hand, a great and good lifestyle," which is true, because he took AM radio stations that were going dark, going out of business, not only put his show on, put him on at noon. Who listened to the radio at noon back 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Nobody did. Rush decided to come on AM and come on at noon. And now he has more listeners every day than everybody. I used to be able to say O'Reilly's history, but he has more listeners than the View. All the TV shows from 8 o'clock on, MSNBC, CNN,
Add them all together.
Fox,
and he
add them
sees
all.
them.
Yeah, that's right. Now there you have a guy who's a champion. And I admire him exceedingly. You're darn right I do. Thank you, Rush Limbaugh. Somebody say, Rhett Palmer's talking about you again, admiring you, because I want to shake that man's hand. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? What they're really saying is, I love you.
You're in love with the mic, aren't you?
Scott, the manager of Radio Shack. Now, this is a good story.
Yeah.
Every year he donates a weather radio to our club for the Hurricane Expo. Our Vero Beach Amateur
Going
Radio
out of
Club
business.
has a booth there.
Yeah.
And we give it away.
Yeah.
We give people, they stop at the booth, we give them a ticket, and then we announce one winner. And
What do they get? What kind of radio?
A weather radio.
A weather radio.
Yeah. So I sent them the letter as usual, beginning of April. For the Hurricane Expo is June 17th. And then when you mentioned the other day that they're going out of business, I called him. I said, Scott, is it true you're going out of business? And he says, yeah. And I said, I thought you were going to stay, the only store to stay. And he goes, yeah, we were told to close, so we're closing. Could be 90 days, could be any time now as soon as we get rid of our stock. So I said, well, I guess that negates the weather radio. He says, no, it doesn't. I put one aside for you guys.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Good.
Wow.
So I picked it up yesterday and brought it to the club meeting. And
We need to tell that story over there.
that's what I'm going to do. So everybody go down to Radio Shack and help them clean out their inventory.
This is the one here on Miracle Mile.
Yes.
Yes.
You want to hear something amazing too? We tested it yesterday. You can hear him standing right in that doorway. Excellent. Now, not maybe quite as good as me here, but really good. All of you can be heard very well in that thing. It's amazing, especially you with those.
And in fact,
Chords
when I
you
was
have.
listening to it, I have to turn the sound down because I got too many things going. But you can actually hear some of the headphones coming out through there. You know, hear the background of the spots.
Oh.
That's how sensitive that thing is.
Wow. See that?
That's progress.
That was good. That was a good couple $100 spent.
How many years ago?
Laura
You'd have to
had
ask
the-
Jody. I would say 6,
Laura
7.
had the cable, and she finally brought it in, and now the mic is working.
Yeah.
Live on stage, the Burbage Theater Guild May
It's not hooked up to anything.
First, Making God Laugh. The comedy
What?
It's not hooked up to anything.
Yeah, you see the wire. It goes
Oh,
to
there
the
is a
computer.
wire. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, oh, I see.
This means right now we're live on Facebook, and so they can hear it. By the way, when we started the show off today, I came in with that song that was written off the top of my head. That was really good melodically. I want that, and I like the words, and I need to continue writing that. That's a good song. So can you snip that off today? If you don't do it today, we will forget. Sometimes I write this stuff and I go, wow. You know, it's the ego of knowing.
About 30 seconds to your open.
It's the ego of knowing that the audience out there, and this
I'll
stuff
start you
just
with reading.
comes out, you know. One day when I die, when I'm dead and when I'm gone, all them folks gonna realize I was a genius at writing the song. One day, that's not bad either, is it? One day when I'm dead. Let's see, we'll record this on here.
And Old Dixie inside the Sitco station. You'll love it.
One day when I'm dead, one day when I'm gone, all them folks gonna say that boy was a genius at writing the song.
Trusted name at radio, Rhett Palmer, the mayor of the airwaves.
One day when I'm dead, one day when I'm gone, all them folks that put me down gonna say he was a genius at writing a song. I knew it all along. I knew it all along. Hey, hey, hey. another beautiful day. Yes, we'll have some round of applause, Mr. B. Why not say it myself? I mean, no one else will. So, Mr. David Walsh is in here, the man with the pink shirt, the gingham shirt today. And you used to always wear a white shirt and a pink carnation with a tie on Fridays. Now you are dressing down. What is this new look? Are you dressing?
No. I've been dressing down for over a year. On Fridays, I don't wear a tie.
I just noticed it. I miss your tie.
Well,
You
you
know?
can see me any other day in the week. You'll see me with a tie.
I think men like men to dress up. I'll tell you why. I think essentially the male is insecure, and I think we like it when I realize that when I have these speaking engagements now. Even if I'm going to speak to a group that's in shorts and flip-flops in Florida, I wear a jacket, not necessarily a tie, but I wear a jacket, a navy blue blazer, white shirt, crisp white shirt, maybe khaki pants, because you don't dress for yourself. You don't dress to give yourself recognition or whatever the word is. You dress because you're honoring those you're going to see. For instance, if as I've said this again and again, if you show up to a pool party in a tuxedo, they'll feel a little uncomfortable. Hi, would you come on in? And what are we going to do? You're a little overdressed for this. It's a pool party, But if you show up for a black tie event in a bathing suit, then they're going to cast you out.
They will make a remark about it, I'm sure.
No, you won't be invited in.
You'll be thrown
So
out.
the point is, it's always better you honor your audience by being a little dressed up. I mean, today somebody might feel dishonored the fact that I'm wearing a short sleeve orange shirt. See on the air this, and I don't like this shirt. I've decided I got this. I think it's too short here. Too short here.
When you dress, you want to make sure you feel comfortable in what you're wearing.
Yeah.
And then it gives you confidence. And that's why we tend to wear a lot of the same clothes over and over. Yes. Okay.
So
dressing is important, but do we dress for the other sex or do we dress for ourselves?
Well, Mr. B is flailing his arms. He wants to say something. Yes, Mr. B.
Yes, what we were talking about off camera.
Yeah, off mic. Yeah, let me explain. See this microphone? Well, this microphone came from Radio Shack. And the microphone I'm speaking into is the very expensive one for Radio Land. This is a very expensive one that's for Internet Land. And I know many of you have been faithful. We have on average about 180, 190 folks that are tuning in per half hour just on Facebook, and that number is growing daily. But the sound quality has sucked to the point where I wouldn't even listen to it. Well, now we have this new microphone, which everybody in the room is heard with clarity and fidelity over the internet. And so now Mr. B has a story about the Radio Shack people that are going out of business locally, right?
Yeah, Scott, the manager over at Miracle Mile Radio Shack, really nice guy. Every year he donates to the Vero Beach Amateur Radio Club a weather radio. It's the type of radio that goes off with alarms and everything when we have bad weather. And I called it when you said on the air last week that Radio Shack's going out of business. I go, oh my goodness, I didn't know that. So I called the store, talked to Scott. He said, yeah, we're going out of business. And I said, oh, that's too bad. I said, well, kind of looks like that nixes the weather radio. What we do is we give this weather radio away at the Hurricane Expo, which, by the way, is going to be June 17th at the Indian River Mall.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, nope, I got one put aside for you guys.
Really?
So thank you, Scott, and good luck to you in your future endeavors.
Now that's Mr. B, and I can hear his voice breaking up. He's so sensitive. You're almost crying, aren't you?
I am.
He gets so sensitive about a little radio.
Well, you know what? When you yell at me, I cry.
You do not. Well, that's why we've decided that we call him Mr. B. And actually, I this thing about calling people Mr. and Mrs., whether I don't know if this will sound prejudiced, and I really don't give a damn anymore about political correctness. So my stepdad before he passed on was at Atlantic Healthcare, and there were a lot of black ladies over there, and they'd always say, "Oh, hi, Mr. Rhett," and I'd say, "Hi, Miss Elaine," and I always noticed with black folk that they always go, it's like the Southern thing, "Hi, Mr. David," "Hi, Miss Beverly," and I realize why. I think this is my why I've
Which is impeccable.
Black folks have, of course, we all know, have had a tough time of it, especially the breaking up of the family. Even the Jews didn't have to deal with that for 400 years as slaves. So they lacking respect in the society, colored fountains and white fountains, and you go, "Oh, poo-poo, that's just yeah. But I got friends alive now that still had to do it. Let me tell you, that affects your psyche anyway." So and poor. And poor folks, what do they have to give you? When I go to Haiti or going to Africa, these beautiful black people running up to me and they're so excited to meet you because they're in a poor country and they're excited to meet you. It's just like Reverend Rich told me. He said, people come up and go, "Well, I was down in Haiti and those people are happy despite the fact that they're poor as dirt." And he goes, no. They're happy because they're poor as dirt. Because they're thankful when a person walks up because you are their Christmas gift. They want to discover you. Their wealth is people, not stuff that's all going to burn up in the fire. But anyway, so black folks here over Atlanta, I realize why they say, because it's a show of respect. Mr. B came in here and he has, what's your real last name, Mr. B?
Bartozowicz.
Oh, Bartozowicz, okay.
You were raised in the Northeast.
Bartozowicz.
My parents taught me in the Northeast that if somebody is your elder, it's Mr. Walsh.
And it should be. I was brought up with yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and it'll come. I remember one time I got pulled over by a cop in Poughkeepsie, New York, and I said, because I was brought up by a Texan. My stepdad, the first stepdad, was a Texan, Texas A&M University and all stuff, and it was yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I said yes sir. He said, "Stop being a smart aleck with me, kid." I said, "I'm not being a smart aleck. That's the way I was reared. Just that's a true story." So he thought being respectful was anyway. So I've realized. You know what? I think we should all imitate the black folk and say, "Hey, man, Mr. David," with Mr. B. So, I do have a history in the past of being rather cantankerous with some people if they disappointed me behind the glass.
Don't shock me, my goodness. No.
Mr. B and I have never really, of course, Mr. B himself is cantankerous, so. Because we're both emotional people. But we've never had an argument. He can get a little jumpy, and I accept it if he gets jumpy. And if I get a little jumpy, he accepts it. We don't take it personally because he's Mr. B.
You're both nuts.
I come in the morning, he shakes my hand, greets me. It's respect. And we should all, throughout the land, let's all, respect each other. Respect yourself. Na, 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 na. And if you respect yourself, you respect others. The greatest thing we can give each other is dignity. Dignity. It's a joy. Dignity.
Everyone has dignity to a lesser or greater degree, but it is there.
Remember little Lloyd LaFauntleroy? They had movies about this little kid. They don't know about who he is this day and age. I hope they revive those movies. But he was this little precious guy who obviously came from a well-to-do family, but he always had his tie and jacket and everything. And he run into a grumbly man on the street who was grumbling at somebody else, and he would say, "Sir, would you kindly give me instructions?" And you notice that a gentleness washed over the most aggressive face, because people respond to dignity with dignity. Otherwise, they're quite aware that they will lose their dignity. So if you show dignity and defer and prefer them,
they call that respond in kind.
They respond in kind.
Yeah. So
it's just like in traffic today. Somebody wants out, let them out, and watch out. They may not, in days of old, of course, they would always wave thank you. Today, some waves. Today, some are too stupid to know how to wave. But that's okay. Do good anyway. Do good Anyway, let's all show a little dignity to each other. And the world
Go.
will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Anyway, so what do you think about this guy, the FBI guy who Trump let go? You know, it's like NBC, CBS. They just want to attack Trump relentlessly. They don't want to admit that he won the presidency. You know, it's shut up. But, you know, he caused this consternation. I think they've all gotten together and said, we're just going to keep harassing this guy until we can get him, you know, cut out of office. It's not going to happen.
I read in the New Yorker magazine about a 10-page story about how he should be impeached and why. And I mean, it's just insanity.
It's relentless.
Insanity.
He should be impeached.
I mean,
What idiots. You know what the sad thing is, though? The conservatives, the far, far, far right, were nasty to Obama, saying that it was really, you lose all my respect when you say, oh, Michelle Obama's a man.
Oh, God almighty. Well, that's insanity.
Nasty. But can you imagine being a female and somebody
well,
saying
wait a
that?
minute,
I want to apologize to her on behalf of the idiots.
I
of
never
this
heard
world.
any conservative say that.
Oh, I did on Facebook.
Well, then
Far
Facebook,
right idiots.
Well,
I think there's too much judgment going on.
This is just crazy to say something like that. That's not a rational person. I don't include that in any group.
Okay.
That's an irrational one person.
Mr. Walsh, you come from an age that I respect, but let me tell you something. I'm afraid that your generation, which is dying out, I wish more people, you know, were like that again.
Are you talking about being a gentleman? Is that what you're referring to?
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? What they're really saying is, I love you. I don't know. I don't know if mankind's really changed that much. We rented a movie series, I don't know, a couple of years ago, HBO special on, I think it was HBO. It was on Rome. And it was so terrible. I mean, the blatant sexuality and the just everything, and I couldn't finish the first segment, and after though I paid $40, $50, $60 for the set, the seat, that's when DVDs were still happening. It's like never watched it. It was just so, what's the word?
Demeaning?
Gross.
Gross. And do you know what? A lot of that did go on.
Really?
A lot of debauchery, is that what they call it?
Oh, absolutely, it went on. It was awful.
You know, it's just like, you know, and we all have to admit it. I mean, you know, it's just like sexuality. Sex is really a beautiful thing that God created for procreation. And we've taken this lustful thing, and there's magazines and movies and pornography and blah, blah, blah. And we've gotten so used to it that we even make jokes. And even I've said things on the air that I go, you know, why do you want to? Would you say that in front of the Lord? No, don't say it. And you watch movies. And oh, you point the finger at me, folks? Okay, this Sunday when you get to church, I want you to get up on the front with next to the pastor, ask him permission to let's say quote some of the movies you watched on Saturday night. Would you want the church watching what you watch on Saturday when you come to church on Sunday morning? So we all need to work a little on ourselves, don't we? Like Gandhi said, we must be the change we wish to see. By the way, Mahatma Gandhi. Oh, Mark the hair guy is calling. Okay, hold on a second. Here he is. Mark the hair guy. Hello, Mark the hair guy.
Are you on the air still?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
No, listen, okay, we're having trouble hearing Mr. Walsh this morning.
Oh,
Again, huh? Mr. Walsh, coming close to your mic. It can't be. Are you coming in close enough? Talk now, Mr. Walsh.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Would you
yes.
please stop leaning back in that seat? And are you making sure his mic is loud enough?
yeah.
Okay, well, I hope so. Keep listening now and let us know, Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Good, sir. I just wanted to report in. I couldn't hear Mr. Walsh, and
Well, we got a complaint. We got a complaint.
on every word he speaks.
We got a complaint the other day. Someone in the same seat was not being heard, Mr. B. It is true. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, well,
I
this
thought
is...
maybe he just needed
Now he's right up close to it, Mr. B. So there's no excuse.
Right up close to it, right.
He's right up close to it. And by the way, I saw you on Facebook. I saw a video this morning where you were talking about that cologne that I wear and I purchased at Mark's Hair Salon. Tell the
Yes.
tell the folks about that delicious Florida cologne.
Well, it's the first product that we're featuring on Mark's online boutique. And what I'm doing is I'm taking some of my favorite picks or my favorite deals, and I'm putting them online at AskTheHairGuy.com. Just look for Mark's boutique button, and I'm making certain things available. But that particular cologne I like because it's a local Florida mom and pop shop out of Pensacola, and it's available only in small boutiques. They make it in small batches, and it's an old mariner's recipe of spices and oils, and it's just a real wonderful representation of a coastal fragrance here in the East Coast.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. Listen, I want to tell you something. Mark's Hair Salon on Royal Palm Point. And by the way, put on your Facebook, because we have a new microphone in here that picks up everybody in the room, and so you can hear us with clarity now on Facebook, because we're getting about 200, a little less than 200 views every half-hour segment now, just on Facebook. And I was recently in a public situation where certain people were getting up without me soliciting it. There were 4 men who stood up and said, "Hey, I heard this on Rhett's show today. I heard this on Rhett's show." And then a young lady said, "Well, I don't listen to Rhett's show anymore." And everybody was silent. And she said, "I watch him every day on Facebook." So,
watch it.
yep.
I know the back of your head. I'm gonna hire you to put a billboard on the back of your head.
Actually, can you do that? If I were to find someone who was willing to pay me to have their logo on the back of my head, could you do that as a could that be cut in there?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can do something.
We need to put a logo
We'll
in there.
make something happen.
Yeah. I'll see you later. I'll see you
All right,
later.
bye-bye.
Okay, bye. We can do that. He was laughing. But anyway, so what were we talking about? Oh, so let's make sure you stay up close.
How come
Because
they do?
I don't think it's
We
me.
want to be able to blame Mr. B and not the microphone.
That's
so
well,
you
well,
need, and not the
you
person.
can certainly do that.
So, Mr. B, we expect you. We don't want to have to slap you around and make you cry anymore, Mr. B.
But how come the new microphone isn't picking up David's voice? Because it's picking it up.
No,
for
no.
somebody.
This microphone is picking him up. It's not on the video. The radio microphone. They were listening on the radio. Oh,
There's
yes.
a big difference.
Mr. B, oh, Mr. B, I would hate you to cease to be. So please put up the microphone. Don't leave us so alone. Mr. B, please. I should have known he was a liberal when he came in here. You know why?
Why?
Because he has that earring in his ear.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah, he has a diamond earring in his
Oh,
ear.
my God.
Now, Mr. B, come on, tell us, what is with that earring? Why? I just don't understand this thing with earrings with guys these days.
You're
That was my
judging.
bucket list for when I turned 50.
But why? Why do you want to wear an earring?
Because I can.
Because you can. I mean, if they would have fired you at the TV station while you were still working for them if you had wore an earring?
No, they didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
I had a big problem with the military, the Coast Guard Auxiliary.
Yeah.
They told me when I wear my uniform, I have to take my earring out. Well, I say that's discrimination. They don't allow women to take out their earrings.
True Democrat. A true Democrat.
Oh, my God. Next thing you know, you'll want to wear high heels, too. You know.
See, this is a Democrat.
Vive la difference. I want women to look like women and men to look like men. And if that makes me feel good, then that's my privilege, too. You know, so I'm just, anyway, enough of that. So what about this? Look, let's be a little serious here. Some people do tune in the show to get something that's valid.
Uh-huh.
And so this guy, Covey, is that his name? Comey.
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 We're going to give some value to...
Do you watch Tucker at 9 o'clock on Fox?
Sometimes I do.
Okay, I think he's fabulous. He is my favorite guy on Fox of all time.
Well, the only thing I have with him is he talks to people that are not of his caliber, and he beats them up. And
He is a true intellect. This guy is smart.
But he finds people that are not his equal. I would like to see him find a par, someone that's on.
No, I think the reason you're misconstruing this is because they don't have the ground to stand on. He speaks, and you ever notice this about him? There's another thing he has, which is the new wave. He listens. He gets that eagle eye look. Look at him, and I know women will notice this. I don't know if men will, but I'm in touch with my feminine side, so what can I say? But when someone speaks, he gets this intense eagle look in his eyes, and he listens, and he chews on it. He's willing to accept it, but then he comes back, he analyzes, and comes out with the truth. And a lot of time, I'm sorry, 99% of the time, it is truth. He's a very bright man. Oh, Mr. B is saying we have to take a break. David, tell him we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, folks.
By the way, if you're listening on Facebook or viewing us, today's broadcast is brought to you in part by the good folks at Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, let me put on the camera here. I'll put the camera on. Okay. So I want you to know that this is, I'm sincerely speaking to you as I read from this sheet, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, but it is true. I have the new Mercedes GLE, and I absolutely love this car. I got it from Mark down at Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. Navigation system, electronic stability, automatic temperature control, emergency communication system, power moonroof, wireless phone connectivity, front dual zone AC, rain sensing wipers, region coding. It just goes on and on. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, blind spot assist. That can save your life. Has the auto assist worked on your car and saved your life so far?
Absolutely.
It's always. I mean, I have to admit, getting a little older. In the past.
Older, young. Don't talk about older. If you're driving and someone is in your blind spot and you go to move, the fact that you can have that signal light up and indicate that there's a car to your side.
Best sound system I've ever had. I'm listening to music again. I got my Bob Dylan, Beatles. Anyway, so get down to Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. By the way, they're no longer Cogman officially. That's for the old folks. But they are... now, we're in a break right here from live radio, just so you know, folks. If you're wondering why I'm brushing my hair. I guess that wouldn't be acceptable if this was considered, but... So, there's Kimmy at Joey's Seafood Shack. Yeah, that's over modulated there. Yeah. We've got to get some consistency here on these. We need to get some consistency on the recording levels, because you're right, Mr. Who is that that's just talking now? That Biblical Bill. It comes on really loud. I noticed that Mr. B turned it down. Mm-hmm. But we've got to get it so you don't have to be riding. They call it riding the mic, Mr. B. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have to ride the mic. They should all be at the same level. We got to make that happen somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I'm also working on Mr. Walsh's mic. There seems to be a problem with that. When Michael comes back, we got to check that mic out. There's nothing I can do in here to turn it up any further without him going over modulated.
Why don't you move over to that?
Mark
yeah.
from Mercedes-Benz called. He's going to call in after the news and get on the air with you.
Oh, the one that sold my car? Someone in my car?
Yes.
Great, man.
Now I'm talking directly.
And you think I'm just standing around in here?
I see you hustling. I never see you standing still.
Now with this mic,
no,
I'm going to talk
no,
through.
no, right there. This will be like it is. Now, David's going to move over to the mid mic.
Okay. When we go into news, I want him to talk and test this. Remember, that one goes straight. Okay.
Yeah, he wants you to test this.
Okay.
But don't put him up loud enough that it ruins my sound, because I am the host, and as egotistical as it sounds, I should sound good. I don't want to sacrifice my quality. Sometimes when that mic goes too loud, it makes me sound like I'm in the back of the room.
We can't have that.
We cannot
No.
have that. Mm-hmm.
This is my hour. This is my time.
The only
Yes.
problem, the only problem with this is
Otherwise, you're going to be
the
fired.
air comes right back on you
He's
from
gonna-
here.
he's
Oh.
gonna-
You have it fixed so it goes on you, right?
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
You
want me to
Okay,
go get
Mr. Walsh, do
you?
some talking on that mic.
Okay.
I have a Make America Great Again cap over in the other room. Should I get it for you?
Yeah, whatever you can do. Make America great again.
Unless somebody stole that from me.
How's that, Mr. B? Make America great again.
You probably have to swallow this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw Kathy Cooper at the May Pops the other day.
Oh, really?
Were you there?
No.
Oh.
No.
She was so sweet. Beverly, I worked behind the ice cream stand, you know. Oh, Beverly, Beverly. She was so enthusiastic, wasn't she?
She's something else. How was your cruise?
Fantastic.
What did you go on? What line?
Oh, Carnival, the young
Carnival.
one.
God,
It's
what
a
would
he do without
millennial
me?
Cruise.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it made me feel very young. You have to keep up with them, and then but we went to Mexico, Cozumel, and then we went to Costa Maya.
Uh-huh.
So my sister and I, we had a wonderful time.
Oh, good.
Stayed up until midnight.
No.
She's a casino person.
Oh.
I sit next to her and twiddle my thumb. But the food is extraordinary.
Really?
It's a fine dining room. You would think Carnival would be more casual.
Uh-huh.
Oops.
May have to adjust this a little bit here.
Yeah,
You have a bigger head.
bigger than yours.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Hard
Unless
to
this is-
believe.
Unless this isn't my. Oh, I see that we had a little
Okay, I'm
flub.
not putting down for Mercedes that time that you did the ad for Facebook, because that didn't go over the air.
Okay.
Okay, Barbara wants me to keep track of all your ad libs.
Now, who has a little addiction to these cookies?
I didn't
Who
have
has,
any.
look at this. Look
I
at
didn't
this.
have any.
A slight
some
addiction.
of those are his. I
A slight addiction. Oh yeah. A slight addiction to these cookies, I
didn't have
see.
any breakfast. Don't you have any
We
sympathy
can't
for
do
me?
this,
Yeah,
otherwise
we can
it's
have
gonna
another
be
one.
on the air.
Okay, thank you.
There's that. Have another cookie.
So anyway, you've been on cruises, haven't you?
Yeah.
Holland America.
Oh, I forget. It's been so long since I went on a cruise. But I did go to sea for 4 years, so
Okay.
yeah, I sailed for 4 years.
David, it's no fun traveling today.
No.
You know,
no.
hey, are you here with a nice review?
Huh?
Are you here with a review? Good.
How you doing? Good?
Doing well, thanks.
Okay, well, we're going to have. Why am I getting feedback?
Hi.
I'm hearing feedback. What's that ringing?
So
Is that you?
anyway, just going
Move,
online
moving it.
with the passport.
Yeah, you got
and
something going on.
security.
Oh, believe me, I just booked a hotel
your
in New
keys.
York, and it
Okay.
was
You
just
go ahead and sit right there.
So
crazy.
We're going to have to
When are
use
you
that
going?
mic, though, for
Pardon me?
Debbie.
When are you going?
So she'll sit there.
Friday,
Friday?
next Friday.
What for?
I'm going to a seminar about voiceovers. It's going to be on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
all-day program.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they keep
Having a little
notifying
problem
me on
with this
email.
mic.
Okay.
But
So
it
wanna
all
make-
Have her
costs
sit
money,
down and
isn't
talk
it?
while we're
Everything
still in the
costs
news.
money. Right.
Oh,
Here, see if
I
this
just
makes
don't
it better.
have it.
Hello,
Can we
hello.
check this? Can you see if it's making this any better now? I just switched something on it. Sound any better, Mr. B?
Okay, I switched it too, so what'd you switch to?
I switched it to the complete opposite. There's one to the far left, and there's one to the far right, and then there's one in the middle. I switched it to the one on the bottom.
Okay, that sounds a little better.
A little better? Let's see this one. Put it in the middle.
Oh, no, don't keep playing with that setting,
Why?
because I'm trying to get a level on the first setting.
All right. Are you going to get closer? Good.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, have her
Good
talk.
morning. How are you this morning?
Very good,
Good.
Debbie.
Make America great again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Friday, Friday.
I wanted to bring my brushes and I forgot.
Oh, you didn't bring your brushes.
Yes.
Here, I got something for you though.
What?
You could do this.
That's not my brushes. Oh, I could play drums on that.
He's getting a phone call.
Yeah, let's come in right after the news. Go right to him after the news. Good morning, all ye people. Good morning.
You can't do that to me 10 seconds before we go. I gotta change the computer.
Is Mark on the line?
Yes, he is, and we only have 3 spots, so go with him, and then you're open, and then he's on the line, he's ready for you.
Okay, now, after we talk today, make sure you edit this out. We're going to make an ad out of this actual call-in, so it sounds like he's calling with frequency.
Okay.
Hey, to all you mothers out there across the lane. We got to record that, right? Ready? That sounds good. To all ye mothers out across this great land, I want to raise my heart to you. I want to give you a hand. We love you, mama, yes we do. We love you true and true. Without our sweet mama, baby, what would this world do? I So buy your mama flowers, send her a card, let her know you love her, baby, right from the heart. Love your mama, yeah, yeah. Happy Mother's Day, yeah.
Yay. Let's bring my brushes. Is Mark the hair fellow? Is Mark you were talking about, is that the hair person?
It's a different Mark.
Oh, a different Mark. Because he
Wow,
did my
David.
hair.
Stand by in the studio, you're in your open.
Headphones now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
now, so we don't get feedback. All right, mics are going loud, yes. Can we turn David's mic down, please? Hello, this is the Mayor of the Airways. How are you doing this morning? Another beautiful day in paradise. And we have my friend Mark on the line. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Good morning, Mayor. How are you? I'm good.
Great to hear from you. Great to hear from you. Is this Mark? This isn't Mark. This is, oh, it is you. You didn't. I didn't recognize your voice for a second. So how are you? Yeah. Hey, I'm living the dream in that new 2017 that you sent me, that you sold to me. I really love that vehicle. So Mark is on the line, ladies and gentlemen, and he's from Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
And we welcome you to our show for the first time. And yeah, so you've been selling there you go. Now, you've been selling vehicles down there for, what, 20 years? So if there's anybody that knows about the vehicles down there, it would be you. I love that. Yeah. So tell us, if you give us a sell for my people out here, I want them to know how much I love my 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV. But what are the selling points that you would want them to know about this vehicle, Mark?
Safety, I guess safety and quality. Mercedes-Benz was the innovator of automotive safety. Safety, quality, reliability, intrinsic value. It's Mercedes-Benz. Best or nothing.
And the blind spot is...
Like your show, the best or nothing.
Yeah, flattery will get you everywhere, Mark.
I'm hoping to get some other sales, is what I'm hoping.
Yeah. One thing I do want to bring up. How is your mom? I know your mom was in a little car accident recently, and I know you love your mom. Matter of fact, when I purchased a new car from you, I was allowed to have some of her homemade chocolate chip cookies. that's well, you know, I don't live.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
We were going to leave for Woodstock, New York today. I got to drive her car and her dog, but we're going to give her another day to recoup. The accident was April 30th.
Yeah.
She was going to church. She pulled into from traffic, but we're heading up to your old stomping grounds tomorrow, I hope.
Yeah, we're like neighbors. In case folks don't know it, I'm originally from Poughkeepsie, New York. And Mark, you were reared up in Woodstock, or?
No, we moved there in 68, and you know there was a big party there in August of 69.
Yeah, I would.
Hard.
Yeah. Did you make it to that? No, you're younger than me. I don't think you didn't make it to Woodstock, did you, the Nation?
I actually tuned Jimi Hendrix guitar. I remember a lot of cars. I was 8 years old. I just remember
Oh, my
a lot
word.
of traffic, a lot of cars.
Which means, that means you're about 8 years younger than me. So let's get back to the Mercedes, though. I'm really tickled with this car. Also, you know, Barbara got the E-Class. Put your selling hat on and tell us what you like best about these new vehicles and why they can get a better deal at Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce.
We're a volume dealer. We are the exclusive dealer for the Treasure Coast. We offer valet service, which is our service department's much better than our sales department. Is outstanding.
Yeah.
I sell the first Mercedes-Benz. The service department sells the second one. Just as I mentioned before, buddy, it's just safety, quality, the intrinsic value. You've been driving our product for a long time. This is the best car you've ever had.
You know, I've been driving Mercedes for about 20 odd years, and I have to say, and I've gotten a number of cars from you down there, and I have been pleased with all of them. But I will say this: this new GLE SUV is just such a smooth ride. I guess I'm getting a little older now, so I'm sort of a freak. I'm sort of a freak for peace. And when you put the windows up and you're at a red light, and I go, "Can you hear that? Can you hear that? What?" I said, "That's the point. You can't hear the loud traffic. You can drive in peace." And I think that. Pardon me?
They are solid.
Oh.
Solid. It's funny. You've been with the product for about as long as I have, 20 years, and you can say they don't make them like they used to. And I say, thank God, they make them better. It's called technology. So the safety features on your vehicle, besides the quality, but the blind spot, the lane tracking, especially the way you drive, you need all the help you can get.
Well, I will say that that lane assist, that blind spot assist, has definitely, it may have saved my life. I don't know.
It's really a lifesaver. You've only had the car 2 months, so yeah. Get all your money back on that one.
Well, you know something? How much would you pay for a vehicle if you knew it was going to save your life within 6 months?
I think that price would be priceless.
And people might say, "Oh, Rhett, you're being compensated for this. You endorse Mercedes." Yes, I do, but willingly of my own volition, I chose Mercedes to purchase, and then we decided to have this relationship with them, promoting them, and so I want you to know.
Mercedes-Benz long,
Yes.
long before this happened.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Yep.
You can drive whatever you want. You choose to drive Mercedes-Benz.
Yes, and I also choose you as my salesman. You're the greatest, especially. Well, you know what did it? It was your mother's chocolate chip cookies, man. So, if people want to call you down there, what's the phone number?
I would go with 466-7000.
Four.
466-7000.
All right.
And I'll be back up for business on the 22nd. Drive to Woodstock and work on my mother's house. Fly back Saturday.
Well, we're all very impressed with the way you treat mom. We have a mom in here too. She's a mother of 3, Beverly Osler. How you doing, Beverly?
Hi there, Mark. Mark, I just want you to. Oh, Okay, thank you. I just want you to know I have a relative who lives in Woodstock, and they own the lumber company. So if you ever go into the lumber yard and you want to buy something,
Who are they?
oh, Nair, N-E-H-E-R. He owns the lumber company. But anyway, his wife is my cousin. Yes. So I love Woodstock. Have fun.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I love Woodstock too, and I understand Bobby Dylan is coming back to town this summer. Is that right?
That's correct. You'll be there tonight. Tomorrow night, I apologize. Small venue, 3,500. People sold out in 30 minutes.
Sold out in 30 minutes. Oh man.
You packed, I believe, the venue, but maybe I'll have some pictures for you. I'm not going to.
Oh, that'd be cool.
See you from there.
We could put it in Vero's Voice magazine. We could put the pictures in Vero's Voice magazine.
You are smooth.
Hey, baby, hey, baby. Mark, you have a good.
Might have a career in this. I think
You never know. Oh, by the way, I also love I love the sound system in this new GLE. Explain, isn't that, I don't really know what's a
Harman Kardon 5.1 surround sound, and you put on Bob Dylan, and you're like you're in Woodstock again. I saw it.
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful sound quality. And yes, I can say this wholeheartedly. It's been a few years since I've listened to good music in a car, and the sound is so good that I've got my my iPhone in there. I have it connected through Bluetooth, and the quality of the sound is phenomenal. So I recommend it.
Probably have the best Bob Dylan catalog.
Once upon a time, you're dressed so fine, threw the bones of diamond your prom, didn't you? Now you're driving that Mercedes-Benz. When will this comfort end for you? All right, Mark, listen, you...
Robert Zimmerman,
Robertson, yep, that's the guy.
Minnesota.
That's it.
Hey, thank you for getting me on the air.
Yep,
Uh,
thank you.
I got a tough day today. I have to go to the gym. I have to go to the beach, and then I have to go play golf.
Well, thanks for calling in on your day off. I appreciate it.
Good schedule.
You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that is Mark, and he is very good. Very good. I found out when we get on the phone, we need to turn down those other mics, otherwise we get this horrendous feedback and stuff. But Mr. Walsh, I love this view of Mr. Walsh. How you doing, Mr. Walsh?
Very good, thank you.
He has no idea that he forgot he put that hat on that way.
Well, I don't have. What do you mean? I have no idea. Of course, I have an
You
idea.
do? Yeah.
But it's
And
to-
matches,
it's to
matches your
it's to-
shirt.
It's to deflect the air. I'm sitting in a goddamn air
Shh, don't
stream.
swear on the radio like that.
That's not a good
I'm
scene.
sitting in an airstream.
Smile now.
Smile, smile, though the world is around me.
Hey, look who just walked in.
Wow.
Debbie Murphy.
Hello
On Friday
there.
nights, you
Good-
can catch her at CJ Cannon's with her
CJ
music.
Cannon.
How are you, Debbie?
Great. I'm wonderful. Feeling wonderful. Happy to be here.
Great. The crowd just gave you a grand applause on the radio. And so they're happy that you're here again. And
Thank
you
you.
also do multiple reports for us
Right?
from Fit Fixins, and they're delicious
Yeah.
food that's delivered straight to your door. You also do reviews for the Riverside Theater, and you do reviews for the Theater Guild. Right?
For the Riverside Theater and the Theater Guild.
Yes.
Right. The Theater
So
Guild. yes.
what show did you see this past week?
Well, there's a play there, and I have to
Where?
at the Rivers at the
Theater Guild.
Theater Guild. And before I give you the name of it, I have to say that Woody Allen once made this statement: "If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans." And it was because of that statement by Woody Allen that they made the title of this play be "Making God Laugh." You know.
Ah.
Yeah, and this statement is based on the comedy by Sean Grennan, and an entertaining, well acted, marvelously acted, I have to tell you, and stage story of one family's life journey through their life. It follows this family as a typical American family, quote unquote, for 30 years. A family who always gets together on the holidays, and I'm sure a lot of families relate to that. It's a raucous comedy, it really is. It's about the obstacles that happen when a family discovers that the plans they have in mind for each other often arrive at much different destinations. That's true. By the way, it's set in 2 acts, 1 set. Very good American living room set, you know. There's much sentiment as well as laughs about this family. They grow apart and they come together, as many families do, grow apart and then come back together. Directed by John Putsky. I think you know him very well.
I love John Putsky.
Oh, he did a
He's
great
sweetheart.
job. Great job. The casting is perfect. They blended perfectly. Marvelous acting, as I said before, by the whole cast. Just great. And some of the cast is Mother Ruth by Martha Kelly. And I know some of our audience is going to know who these people are because they've been in other shows also, you know. But what she does is she nags all her children. She especially wants grandchildren and constantly nags her daughter to get a good Catholic husband. She wants a good Catholic one, though. She's not a good cook, yet at every... Reminds me of me, right? She's not a good cook, yet at every holiday she insists on making a special dip called Fantasia. Fantasia, her chip dip, which all the children hate, secretly hate. She also insists on a holiday group photo every holiday, which the children are, you know, like, come on, everyone get together. We want to take our holiday photo. She has a husband who is played by William Boyd. He's very laid back and mostly tries to calm the chaos which goes on at times around that house. He's firm when necessary, very loving. He's the perfect father. I would call him the perfect father. He knows he can only do so much with what is going on, but he is charismatic in the play. He is really great. They have 3 children, and the 3 children are often very sarcastic with each other. One is called Richard, done beautifully by Daniel Hall, who's played again in a lot of the plays. He's a jock who reached his peak, his absolute zenith, when he was in high school and was a football player. That's when he hit his peak.
But you know what? That is reflective of
I
life.
know it is.
Oftentimes that
It
happens.
is. It's been all downhill since then. For example, he wants to be called Rick, but the whole family has other pet names for him, baby names, and he can't stand that, you know. He's the trendiest of all the children. He tries all the latest fads, from gold chains of that era to the latest cars. And most of the cars that he buys have failed as far as people buying them, and mostly of strange colors. He likes strange colored cars. The only car he missed buying was an Edsel. but except for the Edsel, he bought all those kind of cars. And he also has started to play the market very badly, you know. Maddie is the daughter, played by Abby Bulldog, and she's phenomenal, a dynamic actress herself, but she plays an aspiring actress, and she's really great. She's tired of her mother nagging her about her weight and the fact she hasn't married a nice Catholic boy and have lots of babies. She can be very caustic. For example, she asks her brother, the ex-football player, "What do you have for breakfast?" He replies, "For breakfast, I had tomato juice and beer." The mother asks, "Tomato juice and beer? What do you call that?" And Maddie replies, "Alcoholism." Then there's the other brother is a priest, and that's played by Ben Ehrman. He plays a priest with dignity, very laid back, very loving, who graciously plays over and blesses the Fantasia dip.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this is a powerful family story that makes you cry with laughter before at the end it touches your heart with sentiment. Everyone will recognize at least one of the characters as one of their own family and realize how cultures change. And they do change, and they have changed, that's for sure. If you want to learn what God laughs at, go to the Theater Guild and you will find out. Go see Making God Laugh, and you laugh too.
Now, what's that quote by Woody Allen again?
The original line of his was, "If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan."
You know, he's got a lot of good sayings.
Oh, he's a funny man.
Oh, I love Woody Allen.
That's not exactly funny. That's the truth.
It's a profound.
He also said 80% of success is showing up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's so valid. Most people don't show up, you know. You uncomfortable? We're on the air. You're leaving us on the air.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's too cold for me.
Oh, it's too cold for you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That was the fan that goes right on you. I mean, you have it done so that you are keep cool, right? Isn't that right?
We're getting complaints from our star here. Okay, we'll turn it off for you, Mr. Walsh. Can we turn off the air?
Unbelievable.
I'll tell you what, we'll take a break and we'll turn it off for you. How's that? Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand anymore. It's cold on my neck.
You can't. Okay. So, yeah, Mr. B, would you please turn off the air now for him? Would you
I'm
please
so
go down the
glad you said that because
Please,
I noticed
just
when
go turn
I
it
sit
off.
there, I'm
We'll
freezing.
come
Turn off the air.
Yeah, it's awful.
But then you'll be too hot.
Can't hear you.
You want this on your shoulders?
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, just
temporarily.
for the time while he's here, Mr. B. Just for the time while
Are
he's
you on
here.
blood thinners?
No.
It is cold
I'm on
sitting
blood
there.
thinners, and it makes
Oh,
me
why
so
have you sat there?
Well, I have.
Well, we can alter the thing in the ceiling.
Okay.
It
Yeah, we
should
can-
be, unless it's for your own personal use.
No, I just wanted it to be in here. I don't care if we shoot it straight down or whatever we do. Let's alter it, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
When we go to break, I want you to get on a ladder and fix that, all right?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a little break and then we'll come back. This is the mayor of the airwaves, so keep it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. Test drive their new GLE 350 SUV. I love it. It is smooth. I will say it probably has already saved my life once or twice with a blind assist. You know, people get in your blind spot and you don't see them. And also, I love the radio. The most important thing, though, is the peace. You know, I say, you know what I love best about this car? And someone will say, what? I'll say, you hear that? We're at a red light. And they say, what? I don't hear anything. I say, precisely. It's the peace. I like peace in my life. The 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV on sale now at Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. We'll be back.
Debbie, very convincing.
Now look at the time. What am I going to
Very,
do?
very
Forget it.
convincing.
I filled it.
The review.
what?
I know.
What's he saying?
Oh, he said I went on break a little too early, so you know he's having his little fit there.
I brought that because I never know. It's freezing in here.
It's freezing as the norm, but then with the
Oh,
Air
come
blast.
on, man up now!
What are,
Man!
what are the
you
women
sit
going to
there
do?
and I'll sit there, and then we'll see how you.
You've been
man up.
wanting to do that for quite some time.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what do we do here? So what do we do?
And I mean, they just turn the vent.
So they come straight down, maybe?
Yeah.
Get
Or
a long
towards the
handle.
wall. Oh, Red, don't get up on
Don't
that
get
chair.
up on
Oh,
there.
my
Don't get
God.
up on there.
Why not?
Because
No.
you're an old man.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I'll get the guitar.
You know.
I can move those things with the guitar.
Oh, my God.
Not the guitar. I'll get a broomstick.
Okay, so we make these go
The other
straight
way.
down.
There you go. Very good.
David, thank you. Thank you.
It may reflect. Let's hope not.
There! And it'll blow up over there, hopefully. What do you think? Does it look like me?
Let me see if I sit there.
There's different people on video right now. Hey, let's make America great again, like it used to be back when. Well, Donald Trump is the president. I know it seems kind of strange, but now that he's making things go down, I think I'm glad for the change. The change. There you go.
I'm so
But
glad
got my
you saw
brushes.
that.
I meant to bring
If I
my
did, he would laugh at me and say, "You're too sensitive."
Well, you know, David knows how to make a statement. I'm leaving. Has anybody watered this plant lately?
No. I watered it a lot this week.
Oh, is that why it's looking like that? I thought maybe it needed water.
No.
Oh. We don't want to overwater my plants here.
Deb, do you need water?
No, I'm fine. Thank
Okay.
you, love. Sit and be comfortable.
I'm so
Anyway,
glad.
there's the
Who
theater.
wrote that play?
A gentleman named, I can't remember everything, you know.
I know.
You understand that, right? Including the theater, right. What's his name? Yeah, page 1. At least I do my homework, right?
Yeah.
Which is good, I think. All right. Sean Grennan, who I've never heard of in my life.
No.
I looked him up, and I didn't see anything more on him than this, you know. But,
Well, that was a successful play in New York.
yeah, evidently. Not too successful.
Mm.
But there's a lot, like,
It was
and I
one of-
didn't bring this up because I just feel that certain people wouldn't like it. You know, that some of the children turn out gay, and it's,
Oh.
you know what I mean, all that kind of thing, and the priest leaves the priesthood, he marries,
Well,
and
that's
you know,
modern stuff.
yeah, right. That's why I say in here. That,
You don't have to say it.
that's why I don't say it. You know, times
God
change.
almighty.
I know. Take me back to the 50s. I don't belong here. I do not belong in this world the way it is. It's cuckoo out there. That's what I think. Oh, God, you know. Billy, my ex-fiance, he was from the old school because he was 98.
Right.
And, but full of pep and vigor. You wouldn't have believed him. Anyway, a lady I know who's gay. Granted, I don't care what people do. They do their own business.
Right.
I don't want to know about it.
Right.
Okay. So, but Billy came from a really old school, and he had to be. Don't say those words, Billy. You know, no pinching girls on the high knee. I know you're Italian, but please don't do that. Or blah blah blah. So anyway. She's gay, so she said, we're getting married. Would you play the wedding? I said, sure. So I go home and I talk to Billy. I said, Billy, there's this girl that I know. she's getting married, and she would like us to play the wedding. And he said, oh, that's great. Let's play it. I said, great. I said, I have something to tell you. He said, what? I said, well, it's a gay wedding. This silence. And I'm saying, what is it going to say? He looks at me and says, how am I going to get him to dance? That's all he said. How am I going to get them to dance? I said, Billy, don't worry. They'll dance. You know, I'm sure they'll dance.
Unbelievable.
Oh, God, it was funny. He had a great time. It was a great wedding, and it was a mixed wedding. There were all
Could there
different
be
kinds
that
of
many
people.
gay people when we were growing up? Because we never saw them.
Well, I had a lot of friends. Of course, in the business, you have a lot of friends.
Right.
Probably in your business too. Who knows? And so we didn't, much notice, and many were very close friends, and which
Well, that's
whom
in
we
the
loved
show business,
dearly.
that's
But it
always
was
been.
everything was very quiet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Everything was very quiet, and so it's just a whole new world. I just think it would be nicer if it was a little quieter, But it's not my judgment. As I said, it's not the world I knew in
No.
every area. It's cuckoo.
Well, it was just not evident. I mean, anymore. Well, different world.
It is a different world, and I find it like this. I just come from a different place, but it's terrible. You feel, kind of left out because you're not part of all that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the way it is.
It's the way it is.
I have a nephew that's gay. He's a brilliant guy.
Nice guy, right?
Nice, very nice
Yeah.
fellow. And so what are you going to do about it? Nothing.
Nothing. I went to another gay friend's wedding. These were two gentlemen, and they've been together for 36 years. Loved each other dearly. Only until this new marriage, the thing came through, did they decide to get married. So they had a huge wedding. They were dressed in white tuxedo tails, and a white hat. But this was great. And hundreds of people came, and I'm on the end. And the wedding starts out with all this wonderful music in a church, all this wonderful music, and then the female, I think, I'm not sure, comes strolling down in his white, tail, and about 20 feet behind him comes the other part, and He's singing, "There's someone walking behind you. Turn around, look at me." I'll tell you, it was so sweet. It was so sweet. So the whole, then they get there and finally they get together while he's singing, "There's someone walking behind you," which was good. Then this whole wedding was great. Then they said, "And now it's time for the rings." And so they said, "And now the rings." And
Where's
the
Rhett?
door at the back
He's in
opens
his
up
open.
and 2 dogs come out.
His open is going. Where is he? Hey!
It's their 2 little dogs, and the 2 little dogs come running down the aisle, and they go up to the both of them, give them the rings. Do you love that?
Unbelievable.
What are you eating?
Ladies and gentlemen, another beautiful day in paradise. How are you, Mr. David Walsh? How are you?
Very good, a lot better. Thank you very much for asking, though. I'm sure that you have other things on your mind besides my welfare.
Well, if you were to give a report card to Mr. Trump thus far?
I'd give him a strong B, only because of the fact that he has some impromptu remarks that should be never have been spoken. But other than that, I think he's doing very well in a very hostile atmosphere, and an atmosphere that is caused by the media running the show instead of people who are serious people, statesmen trying to get a job done. As a matter of fact, I agree with Rush that the media runs the Democratic Party. They come up with the talking points and they follow like sheep. Instead of having a statesman in the Democratic Party, if there could be such a thing, and I'm sure there could be. There's been in the past. But right now we don't have one. And it's too bad because you really want a responsible shadow government. Like, you want the people that are out of office should be looking rationally at the people that are in office and criticize them when it is necessary and cooperate with them when it is possible and when it's for the good of the nation. The good of the nation seems to be the last thing on the Democratic Party's mind.
Well, you're right. The press puts a ring around the nose.
And the press is educated by liberal people. Liberal. I mean, when let's not pay any attention to the Constitution. It's an old document that doesn't pertain to today's activities. And they don't respect history because they don't read history. It's not promoted. All the things that they talk about are misgivings. So you have these young people like you were young once, Mr. Palmer.
So were you.
But I
wasn't Abraham Lincoln in person.
But I was not an SDS person, which you were.
Student
for Democratic Society. You were out there protesting.
Yes.
Throwing rocks and turning cars over.
The only time I ever threw rocks at a car was when we were.
He did. I mean, this is it.
We were like 7 or 8 years of age, and there was a hill coming down Wilbur Boulevard in Poughkeepsie, New York, and we thought it was fun to throw little stones at the cars. Until one time we threw one, and a lady slammed on her brakes, turned the car completely around, and we ran, and we realized we never expected that. Thank God there wasn't another car coming. That was a crude. Kids don't, they're not malicious. They're just wanting to have fun and have a reaction. But no, as a young adult, no, I never threw stones. I didn't burn anything. I never burned the flag.
The
never
only
did
sin that I can particularly point to is when you watered the lemonade. That's the only thing I can think of that was something that you're probably not proud of.
My past follows me.
But you admit it, that you did it, and that's a good thing.
Do you know the famous lemonade story?
Did you make amends?
No, he didn't make amends either. No, he did not.
Well, what happened is there's a former guy with the CIA who obviously has a photographic memory, and he moves down here. Now I'm in my late 40s, maybe early 50s, and he's driving down. He sees the billboard on the side of the road. And he said, "That is the kid that used to sell me lemonade when I was 9." And he was 22, 23. okay? And he came in here, Carlos, and he said, "Did you ever sell lemonade at Dutchess Golf and Country Club?" And I said, "Yeah, our house was over there near the 13th green. We were also members of the private club." And he said, He said, "Well, do you recall one time when I came and the lemonade tasted quite watery?" And I said, and apparently I told him, I said, "Well, I had to water it down. I was running out of lemonade." I still don't see what's wrong with that.
This
I mean,
is so sad.
That's really cool.
you know, I used to get 10 cans of pink lemonade for $1. I remember it. And I'd buy bags full and drag it home, you know. I'd be up at 5:30 in the morning. I'd set all the milk bottles. I'd clean out all the big half-gallon milk bottles, spray them down with a hose and clean them out. And then I'd put the lemonade in each one and build them up. And then I'd bring all kinds of an ice chest out. And I was getting, because this was a very affluent club that we belonged to, my tips were substantial. But I was getting 10 cents a cup. That was a lot back in 1960, you know. But the minimum wage was $1.30 an hour. This is true, $1.30 an hour. That means if a man worked 10 hours, he was making $13, and I was making $30 a day. The same as some
Actually, a
men.
little bit more one day.
Hey, look, I was industrial. When
Industrious.
Industrious.
Yeah.
Industrial.
You were an
Industrious.
entrepreneur.
I was when in the winters. You know, we had taken a family trip to Mexico, and when I got back from Texas and Mexico, I saw those little shoe shine boys. I went into the local, barbershop at the Poughkeepsie Plaza, and I would shine shoes on Saturday. Yeah.
You saw
Now,
every opportunity.
have you not heard? Now I know you listen to my gospel music in your car.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have one of my patriotic CDs?
I sure do.
Oh, you do.
It's right in my
Because
book.
that's one of those songs. It's my biographical song.
Yes.
I don't suppose any of you would want to hear it.
Oh, I would love to hear it. I can't wait.
I was just a common boy in an upstate New York town, shining shoes on Saturdays, shining shoes on Saturday, in the land of free. Yeah, this is America, I love, land of liberty. Selling my lemonade, I built a stand for snacks. I remember the older men would have patted me on the back saying, "Hey, you can become all you want to become, son, in the land of the free." Yeah. This is America, I love, land of liberty. Yeah. This is America. Now, Mr. B, if you really want to impress me right now, you would be... If you really want to impress me, you'll find that CD, line up that song, and find the original and play it, because that's the one that we put $12,000 into the production. You can find that on my patriotic tape, Mr. B.
And what's the name of the song?
What was the name of the song?
Well, how am I going to find it?
My American Song. So,
Yes.
find a way to find it. Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Yeah.
But you redeemed yourself later on.
How so?
That's what I want to know. Oh,
That's
you
why
did?
I went to Haiti and fed the hungry to,
Oh, okay.
to make up for my. And I gave the Haitians lots of lemonade. I did not. But I did go feed the hungry.
But you know, you talk about what did you want to do as a child. That was the beginning of being an entrepreneur. I mean, that's why you eventually had your own radio station.
Well, when I was 8, I used to go upstairs into the attic and pretend that I was on the radio.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here it is. Is this it? Put on your headsets.
Okay.
Kill our mics, would you? Can you hear it? You gonna put them on today? Can you hear it?
Stand by, 30 seconds, mics will go up.
Oh.
That applause is a little too loud.
Beautiful, really beautiful.
Did you ever hear that one before?
Yes.
No. Could you
No, I
could
never
you kill
have.
the CD? Thank you.
Excellent.
Pardon me?
Excellent. I never heard that before.
Put your headsets flat on there. You know, really. Okay. So anyway, how we doing over there?
Very good.
Great. Great. We're continuing to get feedback in here on our headsets.
I think it's great that once in a while you play some of your songs that you recorded. The production is excellent.
It seems self-serving, but you know what? Now I'm getting old enough. What the heck? Maybe we should.
Of course.
What the heck?
Yeah. Hmm. Just like you, Debbie. You know, I love to hear you at CJ Cannon's.
Yeah, you know
Did
what?
you listen to that one that they did in February on public radio? That I gave
No,
you?
you gave it to me. We should play that whenever we legally could play it, though.
According to Jack Boyle, who is the man who is the host of that
Yeah.
radio show, yes.
He would give us permission.
He said they all had permission. He said, "No, don't worry about anything. Just go ahead and do whatever you want with it."
How big?
You know,
Good.
but it was just fun to be. It was
Where
a
did they
gang
where did they record it?
up in New Jersey. I'm sorry, not New Jersey. The Hudson Valley area, which is
No.
all of New York and
Yeah,
the
that's
whole,
where I was reared.
Yeah, and it's
That's
PBS,
where I wrote that song.
PBS radio,
American
so
song.
it goes all
Well, let me
over.
say, but you don't fly.
Not anymore.
So you
I
weren't there.
Flew a lot.
So what did you do? Call in?
No, he called me up and he said, "I'm doing a show in February on love songs, and they're beautiful old love
Oh, so
songs."
they didn't interview you.
He didn't. What he did, he played one of my records.
Oh.
You know.
Well, we need to have your records down here so we can play them.
Right, I know. One of my records, I think of Billy May. And so he has me include. First he has Bing Crosby, then he has Rosemary Clooney, then he has Frank Sinatra, and then he has me. I was so happy. I feel like I'm back at the Pierre. This is great, you know.
Yeah.
It's just fun to have it happen. And then he says some nice things about me, which is nice.
It's
And,
wonderful to be recognized.
It is. It's been so long, you know.
Well, you
I'm
know,
talking about that kind of
We
thing.
need, I want to. We need to bring the show up a notch. By the way, Mr. B and all of us, because the other day we got a phone call from San Francisco with this new iHeartRadio. People are listening
Great.
around the country. San Francisco at Dark there. Were you here that day they called in? The guy called. Were you here last week when he called in?
No, I was not.
You were.
Yes.
You were here. And we've had calls from Canada, England, London, England. We've had calls, we've had listeners in Washington, the state of Washington. Of course, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Connecticut, New York. So now we're cultivating a wider band of folks. And so, we need to step it up a notch. And
Yeah, we got to keep up with the times.
yeah, we got to keep those the headphones down, the headphones up, the mics down, the reverb, and then we got the feedback, and everything is going haphazard. I suppose some people just listen to the show to see what they're going to do wrong the next day.
No, we're just different. You know, we're not perfect, and that's what makes it interesting.
Give me more hands.
Give me more hands, he says. So I just got back from Washington. Have I seen you since I got back from Washington?
D.C.?
Yeah.
What were you doing up there?
I got a private tour of the White House.
How nice.
Yes.
How lovely.
It
Did
was.
you meet Mr. Trump while you were there, President
But of
Trump?
course, we sat down, we had soup together. We had alphabet soup together.
I love that man. I think he's great. He makes me laugh. I laugh so hard. He's got that New York sense of humor.
He does.
It's
A lot of people don't get it.
Strikes me so funny. You know, some of the things he says.
a character.
And his accent, his New York accent, makes me laugh.
When
But
you got-
he's going to surround himself with good people. That's what he's going to do.
Look what he did
Yeah.
with Pence. That was the first
Oh,
telltale
is
sign.
he gorgeous? He's wonderful. I love him.
Yeah.
He will surround himself with the best people there are.
Yes.
He has a knack for that. And he will take their advice when he tells them.
That's right, because he said when they asked him after he had put somebody in office, and they said, well, what about this situation? He says, I don't know. He said, but he's got the office, and he'll decide, and I'll stand with him, whatever his
Yeah,
decision is,
that's what he
even if
does.
it's against what he wants.
Yeah.
He listens to his, Do you think that this guy Comey should have been ousted, Mr. Walsh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he was so on everybody's side of the fence. He was so, I don't know, not a steady, consistent person at that job.
Right.
And overstepped his bounds by telling whether he would prosecute or not. He's only an investigator. That's what they do. The FBI means the Federal Bureau of Investigation, not of prosecution. So his duties end at the investigation phase. He went past that and said whether he would or would not prosecute Hillary. That was one of his first things. And then when he said that they had to reevaluate because they got additional information, I thought at that time they must have had something really concrete to make the statement before the election that they're it's still under investigation, or they're reopening the investigation. They must have something really important. Turns out they didn't have anything. Instead of hundreds of emails, it turned out there were a dozen emails.
Oh, you know,
that Abedin, what's her name, Huma Abedin, sent to Carlos Stranger, her husband, the infamous
Or his
husband.
sweater.
huh?
The infamous husband was recording information that she sent, but it was not classified. Most of it was not classified. It was only a dozen or so were classified. But you would think that if such a momentous decision,
Well, that was
they must have had
that
them-
was pressure from the Democrats.
I don't know
In
whether
an
it was
attempt to
pressure.
clear her name, right?
I don't know. All I do know is that it was
Well,
not properly done.
he's not supposed to be in politics. I mean, even Tucker said that it was a long time he was gone. I was surprised to hear Tucker say that.
Everybody said that.
Even the Democrats were
Chuck
saying
Schumer
it.
said that. Then he says, "I told the president it was a very big mistake." Get out of here. These people are insane. Insane.
Yeah.
Just like they talk about the Neil Gorsuch, the appointed person to the Supreme Court, was invalid because they didn't allow Obama's nominee to go to the Supreme Court. Didn't even consider him. But when George W. Bush was president and he was going out of office and a vacancy occurred on the Supreme Court, they didn't let George Bush do it. They waited until the new president came in. The Democrats were in charge of the Congress at that time. They waited until the new president came in, and Clinton, and he appointed the judge.
I'm afraid that we're so polarized that we're paralyzed.
But the
now.
last thing they think about is what's good for the country.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
yeah, it's and it is. I was down there. I was taken in last week, and I got to say, maybe it's because I'm older. Best trip I ever had to Washington, D.C. I can understand falling in love with it now. I was right there in the White House. I was right there inside the Capitol. I got to where the president gives the State of the Union. I got to sit right there in the seats where the Supreme Court sits. I mean, it was really cool. Hey, thanks everybody for coming in. Good to see you, Mr. Walsh. Good to see you, Debbie.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you, Beverly. Got to take a break.
Goodbye. I guess he's
That's
leaving
it.
us.
That's it. Okay.
Going out in the warm
You,
air, right?
you stayed to
Bye-bye.
11.
Going to 10:30?
You stayed to 10. I mean, you don't normally stay to 10.
It's 10 o'clock.
God loves you. That's why. Goodbye.
It's,
Bye.
It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he normally leaves at 9.
Did you say someone
Bye,
from?
Mr. B.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
You too as well.
All right.
Did you say someone from Grove Isle was coming here? You told me to interview today.
No. There's somebody that lives down there that I wanted you to meet.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're
Sometime.
going to 10:30, right?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta let me know.
What else could we play?
I'll have to put in a segment or something. Go to 10:30. You guys are good.
Yeah, 10:30 is good.
Yeah.